Welcome to my channel. This is Sacred Clown Tarot. So I just wanted to come on and do a reading. See what the spirit has to say. Check out the energies. And I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about some of the things I have just on here. I wanted to, for some reason these got my attention, and I wanted to show these crystals. This is I call these my decision or my choices crystals. So I like to have these around. This one, you see there's two. This one is a bit cloudy, and this one is crystal clear. So that's an obvious, you have to make a choice. You have to choose between two things. You have to do something for this, in this, and make your decision of these two choices. You have two choices here. Could be both two good choices, or one that you should choose and the other you shouldn't. So, but this one, I don't know if I can get it on here in a way that you can see the real of it. Okay, so, oh yeah, there, do you see how it looks like there's two small crystals inside of it? Ah, come on and focus. There, do you see? It looks like there's two small crystals. It's a mirror image of the crystals that makes it look like there you go. It makes it look like there's two crystals inside of it, but there's not. If you see the other side of it, you will see that there's only one. There's not really two decisions, or there's not really two. There's only one. See? So this is a, I found this crystal to be a very, even though it's small, it's a very, the way it revealed itself to me, it's very powerful in seeing through, clearly through. It also will manifest, the way I use it to manifest is whenever it seems like there's two choices, but there's not. There's really only one choice. So how it works is, oh there, it's better if I put my, how it works is the situation will unfold itself. The mirage will vanish. You see? It looks like maybe there's two choices, and maybe do I need to make a decision on something? No, I do not. Because there's only one choice. So I don't need to make a decision. The decision is already done, because there's really not two choices. The other choice was just a illusion. So it will reveal to me false. Say somebody comes up to me with a scheme, right? Well, it's not a real deal, right? It's not a real deal. It's a scam, right? Somebody comes up to me with a fraud or a scam. This reveals frauds and scams. It's a really truthful crystal. It sees through those mirror frauds and scams. So I like to have it around, especially when I'm reading tarot, because it gives a crystal clear, helps me give the crystal clear message. And this one, you know, sometimes it's not sometimes the decision is a legit decision, right? You have two choices that you can make. Oh, which do I choose? They're not scams. They're both not scams. They're both real choices, real life choices, real life decisions that you need to make. Both are genuinely good options or real. One is better for you. The other is not as sure. But there's still two choices. So one's not just a scam. One's one's a clear choice, and one is got like inclusions and things that you're not sure about, and the other one is crystally clear. Yes, this is for you, right? Okay, so those are my choices crystals, and I've had these for quite a few years, and I can tell you that this one it's really vibrated a lot back to me. It's mirrored a lot of it's cleared out a lot of bullshit, and that, you know, people tried to. It gives me a lot of clarity on things. So it's a little tiny thing, but it doesn't matter. It's very, very powerful because of the message in it. You know, it's got that message inside of it with the, you know, that's the message that came to me that this crystal was for. I mean, I felt drawn to pick it up, and then I was really like, oh wow, I got that message of it right away, that this was for, and look how crystal clear it is. You know, it's like a very clear quartz. So I really adore this little bitty crystal here. And look at this one. This one is come into focus. There. Look. It's the praying hands. You can even see all the little fingers and everything. It's citrine. But I have this little citrine praying hands. I just found it and I'm like, oh, it looked to me just exactly like praying hands. I'm like, that's cool. So there's that one, this one here, but so those are a few of my things I do. Also, I use pendulums in my work. So, anyways, I wanted to show you some things. I also, before I do a reading, oh, whoa. Just so you know, before I read, I always will burn some incense. I do this off camera because I had another channel and my readers suggested that I stop doing all this stuff on camera. They said, just get to the reading. You know, nobody wants to watch that. Well, I mean, maybe somebody do, but they said it's sort of like, let me fix my camera. They said it's sort of, you know, redundant to do that every time. But I don't think it was. But I also respect what people say. But I think people need to see how to do that as well. So I want to maybe make a little videos every now and then to explain that, you know, that whenever I give and I use feathers, whenever I give a reading, there's like, I don't just get on here and start, you know, throwing out cards and giving you a message. So there's an intention behind it. Like, the only difference between a witch and a spiritual person is nothing. I mean, a person who offers prayers with intention, say you light a candle and you pray, or maybe you anoint someone with oil, and you pray, say a prayer, and you anoint them with oil. You set that intention as well as your words, right? Well, that's the same thing as a spell. They're no different. And I've seen I've gone to church services where the hair on the back of my neck stood up so hard it almost fell out. And because what I was seeing wasn't what was happening, right? There was some black magic. You know, I was into apostolic for a while, and there was some black magic in there. Some serious black magic. And I've gone to, you know, someone's home. We said prayers and lit some candles and put some oils on me, and I felt healed. I felt healing energy, right? I felt a good energy. So it's important to test that energy anywhere you go. Like if you go to church and you go in there and you feel some bad energy, pay attention to that, you know? Because just because it's in a church doesn't mean it's not black magic. And you see, I have this little statue there. It stands for freedom. And this one is love. So I have love and freedom. And those are the laws from which I practice all of anything that I do. Right? Because it's manifesting is about intention. And when you make a spell, the parameters, the difference between the two is, does it supersede someone else's free will? Right? Are you saying this with the thought of free will and freedom within your prayer? Are you praying against the will of somebody else? Right? So if you're trying to manifest a relationship, right? It takes two people. There's two wills in that. So you can't say a prayer that supersedes the will of somebody else, or else you're practicing black magic. You have to remember and respect that love, true love, always brings freedom. If you love someone, you want to give them the gift of freedom. Okay? You don't ever want to pray in a way that supersedes the will of somebody else. Or you don't want to cast a spell against the free will of somebody else, because that, therefore, is no longer under the laws of love. It's no longer within the laws of love. Now you're outside of the law of love and liberty. You're outside of those bounds. You're out of bounds. And I'm not telling people, you go ahead and manifest whatever you want. Go ahead and it's your life. It's your life. You can pray any prayer that you want. You can call it prayer, call it casting a spell. You can pray any prayer that you want. But just remember that your words are powerful. And also remember that what you say will reflect back to you. So if you're praying not within the laws of love, that's going to come back to you. That reflection of your words is going to come back upon you, okay? Because because your words are so powerful. And I have this is a powerful, sacred space. It's very powerful in here, right? Everything I do is, I bless it. I bless my words. I bless these cards. I bless these crystals. I say prayers. I cleanse these and pray for nothing but the highest love and light. Right? They're only a reflection of me, because I'm really powerful. And I'm powerful within those laws of love. Therefore, I receive only love. Okay? Because I want to receive love. So therefore, I must give it out in the words that I say, in my actions. So in my actions, they have to be true to what I stand for. And if I say I stand for love, then I need to work within those laws. It's not that I'm saying one is wrong or right. Okay, but for me, this is how I do it. This is how I manifest like a badass. I say the highest good is love. That's the highest attainment, the highest thing you can have, the highest power you can have on this earth. I say that's the highest power. There's no power given that is stronger or more powerful than the power of love, right? That is the highest attainment, the highest power. So therefore, I work within the laws of love. So therefore, I only can read within those laws. I can only pray prayers within those laws. I only manifest within those laws, right? I don't try to manifest anything that supersedes against someone else's freedom, someone else's free will. So I just can't do that. There's a better answer. There's a higher power than that. There's something better for you than that. There's something better for the world than that. So therefore, I wanted you to know the difference between the two things. You can say this is witchcraft, but it's not. I guess by someone's definition it is, but it's really not. Because if you go to a Catholic church, they don't call that witchcraft. They don't call praying with rosary beads and taking the wafer. If you go to church and you take communion or you get baptized, they don't call that witchcraft. If you go to somewhere and they're praying over you for healing and they anoint you with oil, they don't call that witchcraft. But it's the same thing. So there can be black magic done in the name of Jesus Christ. It's still black magic because it's not within the laws of love. So you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. You can put whatever label you want to on it. It doesn't negate the truth. It doesn't negate the truth that you are either practicing within the laws of love or you're practicing black magic. Doesn't matter what label you put on it. Like I said, I've been in church services where I felt sick. I felt very sick and I didn't know why. I'm like praying, what kind of spirit is this? Jesus, if this is you. And at one point, I was like, I need to leave and get out of here. And when I was like, I need to hurry and get out of this place, I felt something reach into my stomach and like try to rip something out of me, inside of me, and I never went back there because they were not praying within the laws of love there, and they were doing spiritual rituals there, which now looking back I realized that it was, even though I was in a church and getting prayed over or whatever was going on in there, I realized that later on, now that I know what is truth, I know that it was just evil. It wasn't within the laws of love, right? It was black magic. They were casting dark spells over the people in the name of Jesus Christ. And yes, people were getting healed. People were walking out. People were jumping up and walking around. And then there was other things being done that were just plain and simply black magic prayers, black magic spells, and I'm not for doing that. I'll stick to my way. I've researched everything that I do, and I believe that